What up, people? Your boy David J here, and welcome back to my Spaceship Music Sonic Vibranium sample series. Today I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes of me producing my cinematic single, Gods and War. And as you can see, today I'm wearing the Dreams to Reality Unisex tee from the Dreamwalker Clothing, available now at itsdavidj.shop. Make sure you go over there and get yours today, available in a lot of different fly colors, so you can represent that Dreams to Reality lifestyle. All right, come on. Oh, hey, there you are. So let me first tell you a little story about how the song Gods and War came to be. So this is also the second song in a batch. If you've seen my last episode of the Spaceship Music Sonic Vibranium sample series where I went over Unstoppable, Gods and War was the second song in the batch that me and my brother G, shout out to him, co-wrote for the 2024 Olympics. Didn't get picked, but I think it still came out amazing because it was meant for us to release ourselves. So this is a song I produced, co-wrote with my brother G, and obviously I recorded it. And I'm gonna take you into the session to show you exactly how I put the production together, piece by piece. Come a little closer now. Oh, hey, so the song Gods and War came about because we were doing, like I said, the song for the 2024 Olympics. And this song was meant to be a more deep, emotional song that was more about the contest itself. So the concept behind Gods and War is like, think about you being a spectator in the Olympics where you're watching the Olympians battle. And it's basically your fate is in their hands. All you can do is sit back and cheer, and it's up to them to win or lose the battle. And so the imagery I got from that was, instead of Olympians, it's gods. And when the gods are fighting, they have the power, and all we are is spectators, and we're just watching, and our fate is in their hands. And so that's the concept behind the song. You're watching the contest, and all you could do is be a spectator and realize that, wow, it's in their hands whether we perish, win, or lose. In terms of the Olympics, win or lose. But in terms of the concept of Gods and War, it's like the destruction is nothing you can do about it. All you can do is pray that the good side wins, right? And so that's the story behind Gods and War. So let's take you into the instruments. So the tempo on this is 100 BPM. And so that's gonna sound like this. Right? Give it some bounce. But I want it to be a little more serious, so it's not as fast as Unstoppable, which is more up-tempo. This is more like, just give it that feeling bounce, right? So 100 BPM for that, all right? And so, like I said, this is a deeper song. So the thing I started with first is the pads. So the song is in the key of E flat minor, so we have that here. Right? And I wanted to start with a pad on this one because we wanted to give it more of an emotional feeling, something that has deeper feelings. Like I said, this is about a contest, a battle, not about necessarily overcoming like Unstoppable, but this is about like, wow, the devastation is here. Oh my God, we're a spectator and we're watching. So more of a deep feeling. So we got that E flat minor, and I basically just went with a more solid, long progressions, more legato instead of staccato. And I basically had it like this. So basically that's the progression. So when you hear it in the track, it sounds like this. Right? Vibes, right? So then I started after that. I wanted to give it basically like a pluck type of sound. And so by itself, that sounds like this. Right, just to give it some cinematic hits on those chords. Some cinematic hits on those chord changes on the pad. So when you put those together, it's like this. after we do that, we wanted to add something else. Now, one of my favorite things to add in a lot of tracks is vocal samples. And so it's something I love doing. And so I don't know if I did it in Unstoppable, but I definitely put it in here. And so that's this here. You'll hear this sound like this. Simple, orchestral, with some reverb on it, and a telephone effect. So it's only the highs picking up in it, right? And so when you put that with the pad and the space plug that I just had, that's called a space plug. That's crazy that a Spaceship dude called a space plug. You get this. Hold on, guy got me. I'm right here. That's my alarm. Wow. All right, like I was saying, when you put that vocal sample that you just heard with the space plug and the pad, you get this. On the end of that, crazy on the vocal sample. All right, so the next thing I wanted to add was something that was like sound effects, right? So that would give it like, again, cinematic outer space kind of vibes, right? So that by itself is this here, just so you can hear what's going on. And this is just to add some layers and texture to what's going on in the background. Right? Just layer, texture, vibe, right? So when you add that, again, with the pluck and the pad and the vocal sample, you get this. Feels like something, right? It's already giving you emotions. It's making you think deep. It's giving you those deep thoughts, and that's what it's supposed to be. It's like, oh my God, a battle is about to ensue. And so after that, I added a chord, but I played it one by one. So you add it to this, and it's going to be a counter melody to go with the pad, which is legato, and this is just going to go along with it, right? So you hear it like this. Whoa, that ending half step. Oh my God. And that's like, that just is so beautiful sound. Oh my God. Woo, super, super dope synth chord that I have here. And, you know, I'm not gonna give away my sounds and where I have them, but you can hear what's going on. And so when you add that with everything else I just had, with the pad, with the space plug, with the vocal sample, and with the sound effect, that's when you get this here. Trying to tell, like, man, this is like a real deep song, man. And I love it so much, man. It was supposed to be what it's supposed to be. So the last thing we added was, again, similar to on Unstoppable, where since it's a cinematic thing and it's meant to be a part of that Olympic feel, you know, Olympians battling, I had to add a choir, right? So we just added a simple chords that follow basically the lead chords on the pad in the choir, and that sounds like this. just the octave up from the pad. That'd be crazy, guys. And then when you add all that together, you know what I'm saying, the sound effects, the vocal sample, the choir, you know what I'm saying, with the synth pad, right? The synth chord going up with the plucks, the space pluck and the pad, you get this. So that, that was about to be the verse dropping in. And actually, well, this is actually how the song starts, right? So that is basically the basis of how the beginning of the verse goes before I put any drums in it, right? And then added just a piece of the choir and some kicks, right? And basically the kick is here. And this is one of those songs, and I'm about to get into that, where there's two different kick patterns. The verse and the pre-hook is one way, and then the hook switches all the way up. So that's basically that basis right there is the beginning of the verse. That's how the song starts. But we wanted to add an intro to that. So that's where I added, like I said, a kick, the space plug, and just the choir to give it this feeling here. Okay, so that's basically the first 4 bars of the first verse. And so then we wanted to pick up the story a little bit, right? Like we're getting a little deeper. And so to do that, we added the kicks in. And so like I talked about, this song has multiple kick patterns in it. The verses and the pre-hook is one way, and then the hook changes up. So we'll start with the verse, right? And the verse hook is just basically a simple kick pattern. Just a bop with it, right? And then one thing I also added just to make it a little deeper is like a wave bass, like a fretless, and that's this sound here, synth bass, and it's basically just giving the bass note, following the pad chords, just to give it that nice layer, right? So all right, so then when you get the first half of that verse, or the first 4 bars of that verse, going into that second half, you get, it sounds like this. This is the transition. The verse, and now we want to take it to the pre-hook. So again, it's about to be a story, so we got to build it. So we start here, take them up the mountaintop, take them all the way. This is now we're halfway up the hill, so we got to hit them with something for the pre-hook. So for the pre-hook, we added another synth lead right underneath that first one that you heard, which sounds like this. This is the new synth lead. Again, that's just basically layering again underneath the bottom of it, just to give it that other feel to it. And then we added one more thing, another synth lead, but just this one is a counter melody of it, right? So this is right. right? So that I love that sound. So then we added a counter melody to go behind, because everything else right now is basically legato. So we added this melody to just go with it. So when you hear the progression of that drums coming in to the pre-hook, it sounds like this. That's the pre-hook that is about to go into the hook. So I want to take you there because, like I said, the hook changes. The progression of the drums changes, but that was the pre-hook. And so that counter melody of that new synth lead coming in is basically the words on that pre-hook right there. The little starter pre-hook is hearts beating faster. So it's meant to give you that, oh, things just picked up. You know what I'm saying? Hearts beating faster than before. Blood's pumping through your veins. Adrenaline rush. And so that's what's happening. It's like, oh, now we're getting deeper into the story. And then we get to the hook, which, like I said, that first part of the verse and the pre-hook had one feeling to it, right? It's just pump, 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 pump. But the hook is meant to be more like cinematic and boom. So we actually wanted to give it a gritty feel. So we had trap drums. That was the idea. And I put trap drums in there. And so I changed the whole drum pattern. Same chords, same pads, same bass line and synth, but we added strings with the trap drums and a brass underneath, because the brass just had to make it like bigger, right? So the brass by itself, just so you could hear that brass, is coming in like this. Epic. Champions. Contest. Right, so that's that brass coming in. We also added some strings, and like I said, the drum pattern went to a trap drum pattern. So trap hats, trap drums, and a snare to come in and make it smack. So this is from the pre-hook into that hook. So that's basically how it goes, leading you from that first verse into that pre-hook up to the hook. And then that second verse is like, now a big battle just happened. It's like that moment of recharge. And so that's why that second verse starts out quiet again, right? So just to give you a recap, so you hear that full lead up, and now you get from verse to pre-hook to hook like this. right? And so actually on the song version, I put actually a little space there before it drops into that second verse to give it to a little more dramatic. So make sure you go listen to the song, available now on all streaming platforms. I'm gonna put the link right here. It's crazy. So the next thing that changed on the second verse, after putting that dramatic pause at the end of the hook to lead you back into the story, because we have to build it, right? So the second verse is shorter. But because it's shorter, the second verse, I add some cinematic tremolo strings just to bring in a nice vibe. And so obviously tremolo strings, if you're not aware, are just... just some tremolo strings, right? Strings that just have that vibrato in it, just to give it that feeling. And so now the second verse, the second half of it, because it's only 8 bars instead of 12 bars. First verse is 12 bars because it has that pre-hook. Now the second verse is only 8 bars. So the second 4 bars is basically the repeat of the pre-hook, but now with that cinematic feel. So you feel it like this. It starts with no drums, and then it comes back in with that verse, on the second half of the verse with those strings. So it builds like this. Build it. Back to that hook. Of course, I had to give it that cinematic build to go back into that last hook of the song, because again, this is a movie. This is the Olympic. This is the final battle. This is crazy. So that is how I produce Gods in War, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's an amazing song. Make sure you go stream it on all streaming platforms. I'm going to put the picture right here, and the link is in the description of the video. And listen, man, again, this is like really a dream come true, producing this record for the Olympics, but didn't get picked. But again, became a song that I was able to put out for myself, because obviously I produced it and wrote it with my brother G. That would then be in some TV shows and some films, so keep a lookout for it there, because it's going to be a phenomenal, epic record for epic battle scenes. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, the shirt is the Dreams to Reality shirt. That's the lifestyle I'm living right now, being able to produce and make phenomenal music that is captivating, that touches audiences, that is able to do things and draw feelings out of people. It's literally my dream come true, why I believe God gave me these gifts. And so Dreams to Reality is the lifestyle I live. It's what the Dreamwalker lifestyle is all about. So go to get the Dreamwalker tee, unisex tee. It comes in so many amazing colors. Available now at itsdavidj.shop. Again, I'll put the link right here so you can do that. And stay with me, man. Just subscribe for more vibes. Again, stream Gods in War, produced by myself, sang by myself, written by myself and my brother G. Available now on all streaming platforms. I'm so thankful for you guys. Stay tuned. Subscribe. Dreamwalker out.